Hey guys, Carl, sir. So we are going to come in and talk about one of the rifts today. The rift we're going to talk about right now is Light Rift. So there was an alteration done on this last really big patch. Some of you will know, some of you may not know. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it quickly, and then I will show you the change in my team that I've made and what success I've had. I've spent a lot of time since the patch experimenting and comparing like the new stuff to the old stuff. So I want to be able to give you as accurate information as possible. I wrote down all of my high scores, and I know most of the teams for stuff. So I tried to use the exact same monsters to do the same, like the Light Beast. This is one of the exceptions. I was using like Talia Sabrina on here, and we will go ahead and pull that up actually. We're gonna go with Diva. No, because that won't help much. There we go. And Sabrina. Bam. Now, let me just check their health. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, better off blocking for that. 15,000. Okay. So, with each of all of these things, they've made little changes, and sometimes the little changes are not so little. And because of that, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, like I said, was Light Rift. After this, if the video's not too long, I'll go ahead and add one more of the rifts in. Otherwise, that video will come out tomorrow. I'm going to try to drop 2 videos every day on this new content so that I can get it all out really quick, but so that I can still have some spread out over time, because, you know, it's evidently that's good for, you know, keeping subscribers around, posting regularly. I don't know why, but, you know, it works. So, as you can see, we just got to the groggy state. When you get the beast to the groggy state, now you get 300,000 points instantly, just for getting to the groggy state. The Light Beast has about 200,000 HP, or it takes about 200,000 damage, I should say, to get it down. And then the groggy state happens, and you get 300,000 points. Well, there's also something else about the groggy state you need to know. So when you enter groggy state, you would have a 50% damage boost. So all of your damage was up to 50% just because the boss was in the groggy state. They upgraded that and added another 50%. So your monsters will do 100% more damage while the boss is down in the groggy state. So it's really nice. I mean, it's convenient. It really helps out. It really helps get those score going, and that's why some people manual the score part of that, or the groggy part of that, is because it's so like your score comes very heavily from that. Ugh, I can barely talk. So yeah. Anyway, as you can see, there's another problem. And there's actually another thing, but we're not going to talk about the other thing yet, just in case you don't know. The other problem is, one of the alterations they made involves Light Beast's shield. So, the way it's always worked is there's a big fat shield, and you've just got to dink, dink, dink through it until it's gone. And then when you get her down to her base hit points, her defenses are a lot lower, and it's a lot easier to just kind of grind her out. Well, you used to be able to use like Twins and Lucian and a couple other monsters that had multi-hit, but Light Beast was supposed to be the counter to multi-hit. You're supposed to need to run things that aren't multi-hit to beat this. So, but because of Twins and how powerful they were and the like, basically it was just too bad, and people were still just running, you know, multi-hit, and it didn't matter. They were still just kind of crushing it. And now that is not something we will have to expect to happen. I'm gonna pull in this other monster, Crow. So I highly suggest Crow on here. One of the tricks to the Light Beast is that dark monsters get an extra 50% damage. So they already have elemental advantage, but then he gets an extra 50% damage boost on top of that. So if you want to get 5 million on this one of the strategies I've heard is running 4 or 5 or even 6 dark monsters, all your damage being dark monsters, and then just watching them destroy the boss. Obviously, that won't work for everybody. You've got to have strong enough monsters to make that worth it. But it's just something to consider and think about. The other thing to consider and think about, I suppose, is what we will talk about as we go in. So, I bring in Vertihile. I really like the attack speed boost here, and because of the attack gauge fill, the like AOE attack gauge fill, he helps your team get a lot more turns. I mean, really. I used to run an attack damage on this one, and that might still be the right answer, actually. But I'm finding that this works for me right now. I don't have a Perna, so I'm not in a huge rush. I do use Brandy on here, but again, I just pulled her out to put Crow in to kind of show it off. My Crow's HP is pretty low, and this is the major downside for using Crow here. My Crow's HP is a little low, and because of that, whenever he comes out of the groggy state and he does this phase 2, often my Crow dies somewhere along in phase 2. So, which brings up the other thing. There are now only 2 phases. That's right. They changed how all of these rifts will work. There is now phase 1, groggy, phase 2, that's it. Because of that, that's why we're getting that free 300,000 when you get it into groggy. You still get the 500,000 for downing the boss. And I've been told, or they said, that the minimum requirement to get an S was going to be lowered from 2.5 million. I don't know what it's being lowered to. I've tried to experiment a little bit, and I haven't found wherever the threshold is now. If you do know what it is, please feel free to drop it in the comments so that not only I, but everybody else knows it too. And then I can start putting it in the other videos too, and that would just be great. If not, it's okay. We'll just have to kind of work it out. So as you can see, it looks like my team's going to win, even though Crow died basically right there. But you can see the difference. These monsters of mine, the 2 that I just added in, are not exceptionally ruined. They're ruined probably not quite as well as... oops, that's a fight. Or that's a flat defense. Not quite as well as the twins that I had to take out for it. But that's the other change that they made to Light Rift. The final change to talk about. Multi-hit now has a... So it was always that multi-hit was ineffective against the Light Beast, and especially against the shield. It has now been made more ineffective. So you used to be able to get away with running twins because they could do so much damage it didn't matter. That's being changed. Twins do not crush the shield like they used to, at least none of my twins. And now, since what they did was they added more defense against multi-hit, but not just more defense, period. So that means that whenever you're plugging it in, for instance, I'm using my Sig, Sig's not having that extra defense that it has to fight through, so it's not quite, Sig can still pile on the damage. And honestly, that's about it. That's the major changes right there are the multi-hit is now more ineffective, it's less effective. What else? Oh, right. There's only 2 phases plus groggy, and you get 300,000 points just for getting to the groggy phase. In my experience thus far, my points have stayed pretty close to what they were last time. A couple of the things I've gotten slightly better just by using the same team. However, I have found by switching out teams a little bit, I have seen some real big point jumps. For instance, if I was able to actually get a kill right here, this would have been a huge point jump for me. But, that's just the way the cookie crumbles there. But, it's nice. I've got a moderately successful SS team now. And I don't think I'd ever gotten Triple S. Actually, I had gotten Triple S in Light before, but it was extremely inconsistent. So it happened once, and I saw it twice after that over weeks. So now I can usually pull out a double S, sometimes a triple. I do have some times where it's the 3 point whatever, but I haven't actually killed the boss. You've got to figure out what works for you. But you can no longer rely on twins, and you can no longer rely on multi-hit because of the way everything's set up. This is my PSA, public service announcement. I am possibly going to be doing some Patreon. I don't want you guys to get the impression that this is all about money to me. I really, really enjoy making these videos and helping people at all in this game. Especially with just there's not very many YouTubers in this game, it seems, that are really just trying to help people, and I want to be that, but I also have to have a regular job and make money to pay for life things. So if I can have YouTube or Patreon more specifically bring in some of that money, then I can start spending more time and more of that money itself on YouTube, getting the right camera equipment I need, getting another headset that's what I need for my phone, and that's actually mostly it for like the equipment side. But software side, there's some really nice editing software I'd like to be able to pick up, but the really good stuff is at least $100 or more for the most part. I've seen some not like really expensive stuff, but I'm just not ready to go down that path yet, basically, and so we'll see where we end there. Right now, I'm kind of enjoying the way the videos work. I do wish I had some editing, but it's good because if you guys can handle me like this, then you guys will love it once I actually get editing software. Well, that's it. I'm cutting the video. Thank you very, very much. If you're one of the people who have shared the account and brought other people in to subscribe, you have my personal, sincere gratitude. I would really like to see this channel continue to grow to 1,000 subscribers or more. And you guys are what's making it happen. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. And take advantage of these Rift slightly easier scenarios while you can.